Thank you for tuning in tonight to Hot Tea Time. This is Ventarius. I have two special guests on tonight. One is one of our backstage hands, which would be
Joy.
and our special guest is
Jolene.
We thank you all for sitting in for our panelists on tonight. Sorry they couldn't be in on tonight. Kim is still out sick. Robert,
He's 6, right?
no, he's he had. This is his mom's anniversary day or her death, so him and Nene is out on today to do some things for that. So we going to dedicate this show to Felicia, and we send shouts out to Nene and Robert on tonight, and just let them know that our prayers is with them, and we love them dearly. So we're gonna step right on in on tonight. I'm so excited. I'm being here that we're so close to Christmas, and a lot is going on in the world today. So we're going to have to step right on in. We're going to step in with a relationship question. And I just want to tell everybody happy holidays until we meet again. So we're going to move on. How long do you wait in a relationship before marriage? How long do you wait in a relationship before marriage? That is kind of touchy, kind of,
Yes.
it's kind of out there. So, I'm gonna start off. If you want to call in, we have a call-in number. If you'd like to call in, the number is 901-646-1112. Please feel free to call in 901-646-1112. Call us so we can discuss what's going on. So you can give us your feedback and talk to us about it. Or you could just hit us up in the feed and they'll let us know what you're saying, and we're going to respond back to you guys. Also, I want to thank Jolene for being here on tonight, and I got you a little personal gift for tonight. If you can give me this bag right here.
Bless you.
This bag. Okay, I get it. I get the bag. And y'all just think about what I just said. How long do you wait in a relationship before marriage?
Well, what we waiting on?
Right.
That's a little bland. That's a little.
I feel the same way you feel when it comes to joy. I feel like two grown individuals, especially of age. Oh, that is absolutely wonderful. I'm drinking this wine now. Okay. But I feel like two individuals that are old enough and mature enough to understand the process of dating and relationship, you should automatically know what it is that you want and what you need. I feel like God, discernment. You should know a person by your discernment spirit. And with that discernment spirit, he allows you to see and know things about that individual that should give you triggers or anything else that may give you concerns about that individual.
So, with that being said, so you don't think that it's a time period, like 1 to 2 years, to wait or to see? Look, I'm gonna say this. I'm just saying. I think sometimes we jump out there too early because we actually need to get to know a person. Right. And I think in the first year is the honeymoon stage, and you do not get to know the entire person. First of all, not just getting to know the person, because if you get to know their family and their friends, that should give you
an indication
of what the person is about.
But that still does not take long, though, Ventari.
Huh?
That still does not. I don't feel like 5, 6, 7 years. No.
Well, I don't feel like a long time, like 5, 6, 7 years. But I feel like you should know them in every season. A season where they got money.
Yes.
A season where they broke.
Yes.
A season where they happy. A season when they're broken.
Yes.
And in that, I can deal with this person at this time, and I cannot deal with them at this time. And in a marriage, that's a lifelong commitment. If I can't deal with you when you broke in or broke, then we can't mesh. I can't be your wife because I can't support you through that.
So, is it a time period on it, or do we just,
I don't think you put a
Ooh,
time
it
limit
depends on the
it.
individual. But sometimes I think as a woman, I'm not, I'm just saying. So please don't shoot me because I'm gonna say this.
Bang, bang.
But as women, I think sometimes they're pressured from other people about being married, and it's not that time.
Or looking at other relationships.
And it's pushing them to make somebody that's not willing to be their husband marry them.
Right.
So at this point, you're doing something that people do not want to be done. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
So at that point, there's resentment in the relationship. There is envy. There is deceitfulness. There is scandalous. That could be scandalous at this point, where it's like, I did it because I was made to. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes when you're pressured to do something and it's really not what you want to do, that's where the fidelity, that's where the not coming home, what else?
You have to find things to do to keep you away from home.
Yeah,
When
you find things to do.
Marry a person, you go home at night hoping that person sleep. Oh, babe, I fell asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
I didn't want to come to bed.
Or not want to go to bed. Yeah,
Right.
or not want to come to bed. So I feel that, I like you said, it's not a time period, but I think you should know your partner beforehand, before you decide to,
and that's a clear conversation.
it is a clear conversation.
Speaking for me, in my experience, the question was asked, are you sure that this is what you want to do? We did counseling, and I made it perfectly clear that during counseling, there were 3 things that I did not and I would not be able to bounce back from because of previous things that I had experienced. So with that being done and going through therapy, and you agreed to those things, and those things you said you're mature enough to handle and to deal with. Once we got married, it was something totally different. But in the beginning, there was all the things that he was saying that he felt like I needed to hear. He said all the right things to get me to get to that point. You understand what I'm saying? When it came to us being married and by us both being, and I'm not saying every person that's in their 50s are mature enough. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But you sold me on something that you really knew that was not the truth.
Right.
So, and I asked you, if you're not going to be true, if you're not going to be real, if you're not going to do certain things, then don't come for me. Don't step for me.
Right.
But you did those things anyway. So in the process of that, you had to come to realization that you narcissist. A lot of things that I was dealing with on the narcissist level, I can identify with them now, those red flags, because I can see them so clear now.
That word has came
So he
up
was
so much
gaslighting.
right now.
He was gaslighting.
That word right there,
Until I found out
narcissist,
his
has
true
came
self.
up.
Yes.
Has came up so much in this past pandemic. In the
Yes.
pandemic, a lot of people with narcissist ways have really came to surface.
Yes.
So even during the pandemic, a lot of things in relationships and marriages have came that it was there, that it came to
It came to surface.
Up front.
it came
yes.
to the surface. But I have always told people this is the year that God has revealed a whole lot of things to people. And if you didn't take heed to it, then you was going to miss it.
Exactly.
But he
And here's
did show you.
Here's the definition and what narcissist, because a lot of people are saying it and don't really know what it is. They just look for behavior.
Yeah, let's pull it up. Let's pull up narcissists. And blame others
Misfortune
for their
and mistakes.
misfortunes and mistakes. Okay, so I have ran into some narcissists that blame others you would sit up and blame others for the actions that you and reactions that you receive from the actions that you gave or the statements that you gave, and then when it come back, you ready to attack and to be, I guess, forceful and try to still make it seem like it's the other person.
Right.
But I do understand. So to go back to what we were saying, so we can't put a time limit on it, but it need to be some things talked about, hashed out, and seen, and honesty. It need to be some honesty in this question that we was talking about. Because how long do you wait in a relationship before you're married? I still have to say it's a working process, and people that I hate when people are infatuated with people and marry them instead of getting to know the person, or pushed into a marriage. So.
Or infatuated with the idea of marriage. Just, get caught up in the wedding dust. They, the planning phase and, that.
And
trying
then once
to,
it's
that
over.
fairy tale. And once you say I do and everything is.
The reality of it.
Yeah, the reality set in after the ink get dry on the paper.
Right. Okay. Well, we're going to move on. Do we have any comments? Anybody saying anything? Nobody got anything to say about that? So we're going to move on from that, and we're going to talk about DJ Twitch.
My condolences.
My condolences as well.
Wife,
Could you
family,
pull it up?
Co-workers and friends.
Yeah. So he was a beloved guy. I watch different shows and different stuff where people were talking about this young man and saying how loving he was and what kind of person he was. But at this point, we have to look into, I don't know who this is, but I'm sorry. We have to look into people with
that's dealing with mental
health.
Depression and mental health. We have to say that.
And this season, especially the holiday season around Thanksgiving and Christmas, I've known so many people that have taken their own life because they just couldn't deal with whatever it is, whatever internal demons they had going on.
Yeah, and depression. We need to check on our folk, check on people,
and especially your strong friends. That's always strong, and they seem to always be strong. But during this time and season, it's kind of rough. A person that's normally
have it together,
and during this time and season, especially if they've lost a lot of people.
You never know what it is, what triggers it.
Check on them as well, and then for people that's crying out,
your funny friends,
yes.
And for people that's crying out, sometimes they can make a subliminal post and things that they're going through. You just have to check on them, instantly. Check and make. Hey, are you okay? Just as simply, are you okay? Sometimes can make a difference.
Right,
a world of difference for a person.
Especially if they know that person has been dealing with a lot throughout the year or has gone through something traumatic in the past couple of months. Check on that person. Just say, hey, this is a well-care check. I'm just calling to see, or stopping by to see if you're doing good. Let's go have a bite to eat. Let's you want to talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, I'll just sit here and we'll look at each other. But
because coming from the night before to the next morning to you just clicking and taking your life, and some people think when you take your life, you don't never know in that moment if you accepted Christ in your life. So let's not say that the man went to hell because he took his life. We just have to pray for him as well as his family that he did, accept Christ, and it was just something that he couldn't deal with. We're gonna move on. That's a touchy subject because there's a lot of people dealing with depression different stuff right now, or even dealing with loss and different things, like even things, their homes, their jobs. We'd never know if it was his job, his home life, or we don't know what he was going through.
Right. Because
You
have people like for me, and I can speak for me because this is something I went through. I just had a baby, and people think, oh, this is a happy time, and it is a happy time. But your emotions and all those things postpartum, that's mental health, and
Yes.
trying to get back to yourself and still be happy because everybody in your face,
Right.
everybody's smiling, and you don't have a smile to give them, but you have to do what you have to do because you got this new baby. And when people find out, oh, she's going through something, the first thing I want to do is take the baby.
Right.
Right.
I don't need you to take the baby. I need to be better, and I don't know how to get there. But don't take my baby because
Right.
that's the only thing that's keeping me together.
Well, sometimes that'd be the best thing, because there's been instances where people have killed their babies. So we have to.
I mean, but
what
that's the
was
thing.
best.
When you're going through something, like I could tell when I was going through it, I could say, it's not my baby. It's not my son. This is something that's going on with me. He's helping me. But other people will tell you, I had a friend who went through postpartum, and she was like, somebody come and get this baby demon. She was
Right.
saying, and I'm like, okay, I'm coming to get the baby demon. I'm on my way, and I'm driving
Yeah.
over there. I just sit at the house with her, and you go do your
Give her a
thing, take a
moment.
shower, take you a nap. I got this baby. The baby is safe, but that's mental health.
Yeah.
You don't know what a person's going through from the outside, and if they trust you enough to let you in, be that person that they need. Don't just dismiss them because they'll say, people will say it all the time, I can't deal with this, I can't handle it. And then the person will respond, you got this, you strong. No, I don't. I just told you. I
can't
don't
do
have it. I'm falling
And
apart.
that's just like our community. I don't know what it is about medication where they don't think they need to take medication, but sometimes if you need it, please get
take
the
it.
help.
Please take steps.
Take the medication. If it's going to
Go
level
to
you
the
out,
therapy session.
go to the therapy session. Go talk to somebody.
And we sometimes, as black people, we feel like therapy is such a bad
Puerto
thing.
Rican.
But
I'm not
And it's
black.
not.
You're Puerto Rican?
Yes.
It's
Okay,
not,
well,
it's not
people
a
of
bad
color.
thing.
Yeah,
I'ma say
people of
that.
color. Okay.
feel that it's something terrible to see a therapist, but therapists really helped
They help
me through a lot of things
Right.
that I was going through, transitioning from situations that I was going through. It helped me to understand. It helped me to
Yes.
identify the feelings that I was dealing with. I had to identify them, acknowledge them, work through it. Okay, and then try to move to the next situation. You know what I'm saying? So I had to identify it and deal with it myself within. And one thing I can say the pandemic has taught us is to deal with us.
Yes.
And once
Yes.
you deal with yourself in a quiet place and those voices get to you know, speaking to you and to yourself.
I like that, a quiet place.
Yeah,
I
a
like
quiet
that.
place.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're in that quiet place,
Yes.
because I had to learn to be with me
I had to I had
during
to
that
deal with me
process.
too. I had
the pandemic
Yeah.
had taught me a whole lot of things about
pandemic
myself.
told me to,
You know, so I'm
learn
grateful for
how
that
to
part.
get to myself and,
Exactly.
and deal with self.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
learning to
Right.
love
You know,
you as an
yeah.
individual. So with learning to love me, I seen some things that I needed to change as far as I was concerned in myself. To change some things and to be more patient. It taught me patience. Patience with a whole lot of things.
and to
I
be
mean,
patient with you. 'Cause
Yes.
it's all right to be patient with yourself.
Yes.
Because if you rush that process,
Yes.
it's not going to be good for you,
Or
your
nobody
family,
else.
and your co-workers,
Yes,
your
ma'am.
friends, nobody.
Yes, ma'am.
You got to be patient with you.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. We kind of moving tonight. So I'm so glad I have you guys. I was gonna be doing this by myself, but you guys came
We
on
stepped
in.
on in.
But y'all stepped on in.
Won't he
okay,
do it?
won't he do it? Won't he do it? He
Because
will.
I'm
He
used
will.
to just fixing
You know what?
snacks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go revisit one of those past conversations we had on High Tea Time about those friendships that
Yeah.
turn into family.
Uh-huh.
This is a good opportunity to just show these are now family members of
Yes.
yours.
Yes,
that
they
came
is. This
in.
is my sister. She knows she can call
go.
me no matter what time of night or whatever she needs to. Either one of them. They know they could call me. And if I got it, they can get it. Whatever it is, I don't care. If
And
I
you
got
know one
it.
thing I love about you, because you are always in your truth. You've never given me a lie.
No, I'm never,
Never.
gonna do that. I don't
You have
wanna do
always,
that.
and even if it was something that I felt like it was harsh or hard, but you was like, no, this something is necessary. I got to tell you this in order for you to get to the next place. And I love that about you because you've always been you.
So did y'all fall out behind that? Because,
No.
we talked about that
Yeah,
falling
we
out.
did talk about falling out, and we never
don't
fall
fall
out.
out.
We don't fall
I
out.
just take
That's
that
my
big
big
girl.
brother. That's my big sister.
We
I take
talk
that
about
over
it.
you.
We talk about
We
it.
talk
Yes.
about it, and I'm gonna let her know how I feel
Yes.
and how it goes.
They tell me when I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Look,
that's
you
right.
was wrong for that.
And I
You
love
was
the
wrong.
honesty. I love the
Yes.
honesty because
And I'ma
honesty
be
makes
honest.
you a much better person.
I have to be honest
Yes.
because that's the only way to go. I don't want to be no fake friends, and I don't want none
That
around me.
part.
Because my whole thing is, if we can't be honest with each other, who can we be honest,
honest
with?
with.
Or who
Right.
can we be ourselves
Right.
around? Because at this point, if you can't be yourself, you're living a lie.
You living a lie.
That's right.
You're living a lie.
And I can only be me.
I can only be me,
Hey,
and
I
I
can
could
them
only be
flaws and all that.
responsible. You
Yes,
can only be responsible for me. You know what I'm saying?
I
So at this
accept me.
point,
You don't have to accept me.
and that's where I am. If you can't
Right.
accept me for who
Because
I
I
am,
know I'm a whole
I
lot.
don't care.
I'm a whole lot.
To
It's a
deal
whole
with.
lot to deal
Right.
with.
So we're going to go on and talk about these generational curses
Okay.
Yes.
that families have stimulated and put upon their kids, and they keep living.
Right.
So we're allowing them to keep manifesting and living in our lives, in our homes, in our families, and we need to find a way to break them.
Chain breakers.
We got to find a way to break those chains.
I'll say
Now,
the first way to break them is to identify them, because if you don't know they're there, you're
Yes.
just repeating the cycle unknowingly.
That's true.
And the cycles will repeat.
they do repeat.
He will allow them to keep repeating until you. And I think the purpose of them repeating is for you to actually see what have you learned from them.
Right.
Can you identify what?
Or
is
have
actually-
you paid attention?
paid
Because
attention?
my whole thing, did I
Have
tell?
you
We
paid
just had
attention?
this conversation before we got online.
Yes.
It's the paying attention.
Yes.
Because a lot of times people don't think I pay attention, but I watch
Right.
as well as pray. I pay attention.
Observe.
I watch. I'm very observant.
Yes.
I can tell you from A to Z how it went,
Right.
or where it's going. And my mom, I could tell you about her from when I was a child from to now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
I know her. I know my grandmother. I know my aunts
Right.
because I paid attention to
Right.
them. And that's where the curses start, because once you pay attention, it's a learned behavior. And that starts the curse. It's the learned behavior, because in your head, it's the right way. It's the right thing. So,
And then too, Van, I'm gonna say since my mother was much older, I have an older parent, kind of like I am with Keelan. But my mother was much older, but they only gave what they could give. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, not saying that it was right, always right, the way they went about things, but I'm gonna say that what they were given and what they latched on to, they felt like was the best possible thing that they could give. So that trickled down to the next generation, and that generation to the next generation. So with that chain breaker, because the children now, the I'm gonna say the generation that's of my oldest daughter, they're a generation that's, how can I put it?
That's
My mom
it.
used to say
That's
boss
it.
sense is the best sense. So with them, they don't want the boss sense.
They didn't pay attention.
They not. They
They
want to
didn't pay
experience
attention.
it.
They want to experience.
want to
See, with
experience.
us, they was trying to keep us from it. They'll tell us, well, this is what you shouldn't do. This is the road you should go down. We would try that because, okay, I feel like you know what's best for me, and I'm going to go on down that road. But with the children now, they want the sense that you, now I got to experience this for myself, and
I
then
got
that's
to
how I
see.
know. Say,
I
for
got to
instance,
see.
I'm going to touch the hot skillet. I done told you now, that skillet hot.
They got to touch it.
But I got to touch the skillet anyway because I got to see how it's going to burn.
How it's gonna burn me.
So that's the generation.
Take
How
my
much
skin
I can
off.
take.
We just did that with Day. I was telling her, because she picks the baby up and she like pick him up like he a toy. And I said, you just like that meme. Don't touch the bottom of the skillet, it's hot. Don't touch the skillet when it's hot. And then when you finally get handed to them, you say, it's hot on the bottom.
Right.
And they don't only hear when you yelling.
Right.
Okay, I've given you this. I've said this in a calm way that, what they call it, gentle parenting.
Gentle parent.
Gentle
Don't work
parenting.
because you don't hear it until I'm yelling.
Yeah.
And that's another generational curse that I'm
From
trying
yelling?
to trade myself out
No,
of.
Me too.
The gentle parenting is the problem.
The gentle parenting does not work for our
kids.
children.
Right.
They don't. They don't.
They
work.
don't respond to gentle parenting.
They don't. They look over
They
it and
don't.
keep going.
They look over it like, oh, you weak. I can't.
So let's go over some of these
So how do they get to
generation.
that for us to be weak? Because in my opinion, like, it depends on how we brought them up. Because I feel like a child should never view an adult, an authority figure, as weak. Right. So how do they get there? That's the I don't feel like gentle parenting, because I don't think gentle parenting is a thing, because we can talk to our kids and say, hey, don't do that, and they understand and they receive the message. Mm-hmm. But in the same token, you can yell at them and it'll shut them down. I was a kid that if you yelled at me, it shut me down. I couldn't hear you anymore.
Right.
But if you talked to me and it made sense, then I could understand what was going on. Mm-hmm. So how do you get to your child not respecting authority to say, oh, you're not yelling at me, so I don't hear that?
So, but a lot of times yelling was the only thing yelling for me with my oldest was the device that I used, because I didn't want to put my hands on it, because I felt like, although I know in the Bible says to spare the child, to spare the rod, to spoil the child. Mm-hmm. So I tried to use other things besides always using a belt or whooping them. So sometimes yelling was the best process for me, you know. And I bet, just like you said, sometimes she would shut down if I would start yelling. Because she would ask me now, Mom, why do you used to yell all the time? I said, well, that was the best thing that I could do besides me putting my hands on you. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel like it, because me being in an angry place, it wouldn't have been a good thing.
So do you feel like there was a generational curse, or how do you feel?
It's
so
most
you feel like
definitely a generational curse.
Okay, well,
You have to learn communication. That's
well, my
where it
mama
stems
didn't
from.
holler.
Well, your mom still don't holler. She just look at you crazy. That's
Yeah, my mom didn't holler. So I mean, I don't know. So at this point, so that's a generational curse. So what are some more generational curse that stems into our families? I'm not going to just say black families. I'm not going to say, just, on families, period.
monogamy, being married, dealing with a man that you shouldn't be dealing with for the sake of your family.
For the sake of your family, right.
Staying for the children.
Stand for the sake of the children.
And you know that it's not a good place to be. And you have to deal with all of that.
Keeping a job, 'cause
abuse,
you feel like
mental, physical, and all. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, physical abuse and different.
But I mean, because the way that we were taught, the way that I was taught was, you keep that job. That's a good job. Even though you go in there and you about to pull your hair out every day. And
even
meanwhile,
though it's
you
a
can go
toxic
ahead,
work environment.
right? And you can quit that job, find something 10 times better, put yourself in a better place mentally and financially. But you was taught if you quit that job, you're going to lose your pension. They don't even got pensions no more. My 401k, I'm going to transfer it anyway. Mm-hmm. But these are the things, education, financial literacy. Those are things that I feel like are generational curses because our parents were unaware, and now we are more literate. We see it. We're more aware of.
I can't just say that there was a generational curse. I have to say that was the way that they controlled us as people, as black people. They controlled us by pensions and different things on the job to make sure we were going to stay on the job. Mm-hmm. And as we got older, we were able to deflect and find something different that was better or to suit us, that we would be able to work in their workplace. But at this point, you can't tell us that because we're going to say, I don't want to hear this shit. I'm finna go. I'm finna go.
Right.
I'm leaving today. You know what I'm saying?
Because if you messing with my mental, I can't. I can no longer.
But
I can't spend that energy.
Our parents were controlled.
Right.
Yes.
They used what is that? They had unions where they felt that they were for them, but they really wasn't for them. They was against them.
The union never really been for them. The union been for the union
to control them
and the employees.
It was to control the work environment. So at this point, a lot of jobs done away with the unions because they felt take the control out of it.
So
because
I feel
the
like a lot
can
of
be
people
here.
have broken those chains too, generational curses as far as being entrepreneurs, getting
Right.
their own businesses.
Right.
So at a point to where you felt like that you were told to stay at a job. So again, pandemic, I have to put it back on the pandemic has showed us a lot of our gifts that you've opened up to. Start your own business. You're no longer afraid. So back then we were afraid because of things you said I wasn't gonna be able to have pension. So now you're able. One thing you've always told me was being a stylist. You made the extra initiative to do your 401k, get you some savings for you.
Right.
You showed me some things or told me some things. I was like, okay. It was my aha moment.
Right.
Made me think about some things. Okay, you not just only have to be on a job to do those things to
No,
secure
you
yourself.
can do it on your own.
On
You
your
do all
own
this on
as
your
an
own.
entrepreneur.
Because
and
I was
to take
taught
those steps, yes.
that I pay into my own
And you
outside of
shared
my
that
job
with someone else to help them
To-
move further.
to move further. Because at this point, just because I'm an entrepreneur don't mean that I won't have a retirement
Right.
because I didn't pay into it.
So what I'm hearing is the way to break generational curses is to educate ourselves.
You're gonna have to.
You
That's the
have
only
to.
way that you can.
so many levels.
And so many levels, even on in relationships, in schooling, and different things like that. We have to make sure that we're knowledgeable of things that we're trying to pursue, and not just jump out there, because that's where we start to sink.
So where do
And-
we attain the knowledge from when it's time? Where do we go, or how do we get there? Because that's a deficit we have. Because if my mama don't know, and I have to find someone I trust, so how do we attain the knowledge to say, oh, this is how I'm gonna save? Or like when I was younger, I wasn't taught to, when I first started working at 15, put some savings aside from every check.
That's it.
And when you saving, don't spend your whole check on your food and then
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
scrap up for gas. No, save half your check at least. You don't have any bills right now, so
Well,
save. And now
at
you're teaching our
at
children
this
that.
point, for me, I had to figure this thing out on my own.
Yes.
I had nobody.
I did.
I had nobody to look into. I had a few people to look into, but after the fact that they seen that I was able to flourish on my own, it changed the narrative of the whole thing. You see what I'm saying? When they seen that I had this knowledge that I was able to open my own, or to become my own, or to hold it on my own, it became a problem. So with that, much prayer,
I'm gonna lean it on them.
much power. Power. Success is power.
So how do
And-
we turn our generational curses into generational wealth? That's my question.
How do we do it?
Yeah.
With much prayer, saving,
Sacrifices.
sacrifices.
Sacrificing.
All that going to the mall and shopping and
Yeah.
doing all that.
Some
You're
all in
gonna
out
have to.
control,
You're gonna have to.
going
You're gonna have to
eat.
scale back, because guess what? I have known. If you watch, some people that's wealthy, they wear the same shoes, the same pants, and they just wash it and turn it around. I have seen the
They
wealthiest
got
people.
5 shirts.
The wealthiest people. Look at Simon Cowell. How many black T-shirts you think that man could buy? You understand what I'm saying? And he one of the wealthiest men in the world.
And he don't have a logo on as a black t-shirt.
He just a black
Black
T-shirt.
T-shirt.
But here we
Black
go.
V-neck
It's
t-shirt.
gotta have
Here
a
we
name
go.
on
It's
it.
got to have a name on it. I got to have
It's a
somebody
label.
stretched across my chest because of status. We have to have a status. We got to drive the nicest cars. I'm sorry. That's me. But
We
you know what I'm
give-
saying? We
And
give to
credit is
that.
important though.
Oh, credit is very
Credit is
important.
very
Credit is
important.
very
You teach
important.
a child to work to do their credit beforehand. Let them show them the proper way of
Pay bills.
credit can take you a long way.
Pay your
Now, that's
bills.
one
You won't
thing.
have to have monetary if you got credit.
Right.
You can get anything and go anywhere you want to go
You
if you
can.
got credit.
And I done fucked mine up about 3 times. But guess
you keep
what?
it back.
Guess what? I figured it out.
Yes.
I got my shit together right now.
My
You know what I'm
Lord.
saying? I got it together. I learned. So at this point, by me learning,
See, that's my
I learned how to make it work for me.
Yeah.
I learned how to pay stuff off. See, at this point, this is the point. Chris is calling in. I think Chris want to talk. You got to call this number, Chris. You got to call 901-646-1112. Parker.
Yeah. Cause see, we as black people don't ever tell you credit.
Oh, put them on speak.
Parker, you supposed to be on this call.
What call?
On Hot Tea Time. So you not watching Hot Tea Time and you calling me?
Oh, old time, I forgot.
I'm gonna call you back. Yeah, we
Yeah,
live.
we're
You don't
live.
even know the question and you calling in. I'm gonna call you back.
Don't do me like that.
I'm gonna call you back.
But I feel like the importance
I'ma call you
break
back.
that generation thing is to teach them how to do credit,
Do credit.
make it credit.
And my thing is it's like I've learned to tackle the lowest bills
Yeah.
first. You
Okay.
tackle the lowest bills first. Once you tackle the lowest bills, you continue to climb. You get rid of everything that's low. If you got bills that's $500 and $600, hit them. Get them out the way. Pay the minimum on the highest bills. Once you tackle the ones that's low, you get them out the way. Get them done. You're done with those. Don't start using those cards because they're empty. Leave them alone and go. Okay, and go to the rest of the bills. You got a call? Okay. Okay.
Asia. Oh, we are live, Asia.
I know. I'm calling to speak.
Yes, I was letting you know you're live on the air.
Yes, ma'am. How
So-
y'all doing?
We're great. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'll let you know you're live.
Just keep talking because you're listening to yourself. Just talk. You can't listen.
I'm doing great.
Good. So what's on your mind? What's on your heart? What you got to talk about on today?
Yeah, because it's weird. But yes, honey, I want to talk about this credit.
Okay, let's go ahead. Let's talk about it.
You have to turn the broadcast off and because
Turn it
it's a
down.
delay. It's
Just
a
turn
delay.
it down. It's a delay on it, on your end. Just talk.
Well, honey, you know, I do a lot of shopping. A lot of packages come to the house. It's turned down.
Okay.
And you know, I don't spend a lot of money now.
How you don't spend a lot of money? I need to know the trick because I spend a lot of money when I go out.
Well, because it's where you shop at.
Okay.
It's how you shop.
Well, I don't know. I go where they say the stuff at. I don't know. Ain't nobody told me how to
The budget.
budget. Or,
Shop.
I
I
don't
shop
on
off the
clearance.
clearance
I
rack
grew up
and
shopping on clearance, so I'm against that.
I shop on the clearance
against
rack
shopping
and
on
I
clearance
shop
rack?
off and I shop off season.
Yeah.
I shop off
season makes
season.
Off season makes a difference.
Well, honey, I done had a cart about 35 pieces. And it was about $106.
For 35 pieces?
Yes, ma'am.
What store was that?
Honey, it's online.
Did you have a coupon?
I'm gonna contact you when you get out the phone. So I get-
Jolene says she gonna call you when you get off the phone.
Girl, I just be starved, honey, at work.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna tell you now. You can find some nice stuff on Shein now.
That's
Sheen
what
has
they
some
say.
nice stuff on
Shein
Sheen.
and-
I done
but
found
you
some
know, Shaq
$13.
has
They have a sweatshop.
I don't give a damn. I look nice off Sheen. I found me
What
some
you
nice
mean a
little stuff.
sweatshop?
They pay them people like a nickel.
That's not my problem. I get my
Where's
stuff.
Sheen from?
No.
China?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, well,
I
China
can't be
letting the
worried
folk
about
work
these
them for 5
sweatshops.
cents.
Y'all don't do that.
I ain't seen that. I ain't heard that. I'm gonna act like I didn't hear it, cause I'm shopping off Sheen. I like some of their things that they've been coming in, and I get compliments at work on some Sheen clothes. I like them. I be dressed up.
But I heard Sheen have some nice stuff.
They
and
have some
reasonable.
nice stuff. It's very reasonable.
Yeah.
And Amazon do too. Amazon has some nice pieces that you can get for a little
I'm gonna have to
nothing.
wait till 2023.
This shirt came from Amazon.
Yeah.
This one
Okay.
came.
Yeah, they have some nice things
Yeah,
that we
we
can get
out.
over there.
Harry too. But
So-
I got you.
You know, we can get that. Get them clothes now. So what else we gonna discuss about this generational
Baby,
cursing?
this don't one that's work.
We gotta get some more batteries in here. What else about this generation?
Some over here.
I understand now.
So we moving on, or we done with this generation of curse? Cause I'm about to move on.
I'm gonna have to worry about this delay child.
She said, "What happened? What age you say?"
What you say, Asia?
The delay.
I said I'm gonna have to call back because I don't know how to get away from this delay.
You have to, when you were listening, you have to turn the broadcast off and just talk straight.
Yeah, you just have to talk to us. So once you work that out, just give us a call back. We're glad you called in, though.
Right now, I can't do all that.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for calling in, though.
Thank you, Aisha.
Thank you, Asia. We enjoyed talking with you.
We did. Now we're gonna move on, y'all. Okay. You. All right. We're gonna move on, y'all. We're
Love
gonna
you.
talk about where does homophobia stems from. Where does homophobia stems from? Now, this is really a touchy subject because I'm just gonna be honest. I'm just gonna go ahead and be honest with y'all. I'm gonna tell you where homophobia stems from. It stems from the church. It stems from the church because they
I can
talk
see
about
that.
it. They talk about
I
it,
can see that.
and they talk about it in church, but they never give scriptures
To support.
to support it. But it always seems to be a hate speech
Okay.
when they're talking about it. So that in turns have people to react a certain way towards homosexuality.
But not just the church. I believe it also may stem from people's own insecurities. People, you know, their
It stems
own- their
stems
own-
from insecurities. I can agree with you on that.
People's insecurity within their own sexuality. I break it down even further. Because if you're not secure in your own sexuality, then you will tend to give off, homophobic vibes.
Okay.
Right.
So
we were always taught in church when the ministers preached about or taught about the 2 cities that were destroyed because of them being lovers of one another.
right.
So
Sodom
that
and
too-
Gomorrah.
Exactly. So they're using the word form, but you're not looking at the individual. Do you not think that God? I'm not saying that the word itself changes, but do you not think God knows that? How can I say it?
Just say it. Just say it.
I'm trying to say how.
I mean,
God
because
knows
he
the
created-
individual.
He,
Exactly.
yes,
He's
he
the
created
creator.
everybody.
God knows the individual.
created everybody.
So do you think, honestly
gonna
think that God will turn you away because of who you are or
Right.
what you've become? Do you think he's honestly going to say that you're not going to be able to enter to? But he said, out of all these things, love is the most important one.
It's most
So if I
important.
cannot love you as my neighbor
And
or as
love
my
drawn
friend because of
all
who
men
you
unto
are,
God.
exactly. So it's a whole lot of us gonna get to the gate, baby, and he gonna turn us around.
So my whole thing is the reason why I said church is because they don't talk about the adulterers the same way
None
they
of
talk
it.
about homosexuality.
Right.
They don't talk about none of other sins
Outside of that.
outside of that. But my whole thing is, what's the difference? I was always taught a sin is a sin.
And he is.
And if
There's
it's
no
going to
greater
take you,
ones.
it's no greater sin than the other. But in church, they teach you that one sin is greater than the other. Because you're talking, when I hear it, I mean, you can look at it on Facebook, you can look at it on Instagram, you can look at it on Twitter, you can Snapchat, and all of them.
YouTube.
When they post the videos of the pastors talking about homosexuality, it's always a hate speech, or it's not drawing, because the Bible said, "Draw all men unto me." That said, all men. It said you
Not
draw
just
unto
the
the
straight
not
ones.
just the
Not
straight.
one.
That's not don't pick them
Not
out.
just the straight
Because my
ones.
whole thing is,
And if you
when
can't
do
feel
you
comfortable
turn-
at church, where
where
else you
do
gonna
you,
feel
where
comfortable
do you
at?
go? Where do you go? So
Yes.
they create their own communities.
Right.
You know, homosexuality.
Yeah.
They have their own community,
Yeah.
and you have a problem with them
them.
having their own community because they're not accepted anywhere else. But you're able to sing their songs. You're able to let them direct your choirs, and you're able to
Design your
your clothes. You're able to your shoes,
do your hair.
let them do your
Your
hair,
shoes, yeah.
your food,
Your makeup.
and your makeup and stuff like that. But the first thing you do is to get up and bash them. So, not that I'm trying to go against the church, also in families.
Yes.
How do you outcast your son or your daughter that's homosexual? Why do you do that? That's a product of you,
Right.
regardless to what they decide to do
And you
within
still
that.
gotta love them.
And you got to love them regardless, but you'd rather push them to that same community that you're talking about, that everybody talks about their community, but their community embrace and love them.
And love them, yeah.
So at this point, how do you, and then you got these men running around here that try to talk about them, but behind the building,
being with them.
they trying to get with them.
Okay. Yeah.
So my whole thing is be yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Be true to you.
Then go back to that sexuality and security.
And I have to also say this: just because you gay don't mean that I like everybody.
Right.
That don't mean I like everybody. Every man is not attractive to every gay man.
Okay.
And so I don't understand, how do you feel that you have a problem with me because you feel like I'm not attracted to everybody. First of all, you're gonna have something to deal with me. You understand? You're gonna have to have just as much as I have. I don't want no, I'm just gonna say, bomb ass nobody, trying to step to me, because guess what? I done created this.
You worked hard.
I worked hard for everything I have, and then I'm gonna take something that's don't equal up to me? No, that don't work for me. So guess what? You can look how you want to look, say what you want to say, but just know I ain't looking at you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People think that, just because you homosexual, I ain't looking at your husband, because guess what? I don't want no married man. I want my own. You understand what I'm saying? It's not that I want something that belongs to somebody else. So you looking at people, or looking at everybody that's homosexual or everybody that's gay, and looking at them the same way. Hey, take them out that whole bowl.
Right, you
take
can't
them out
put
that bowl.
them
That's
in the same bowl with
That
everybody
is
else.
not. We not like Captain Crunch. We don't all look alike, and we don't act alike. So guess what? They gay ain't my gay. So fuck that. Take that out. So you know what I'm saying? I don't act like the rest of
You
them.
have to understand that you are at a certain status. Some newer gays,
Are not at that level.
right? So they have to accept what accepts them, and they go after whatever they like.
I understand that.
But
that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is people stereotype us as we're all
They
the
put 'em all
same.
in one bowl.
That we're all the same. And that's not how this works. That's what I'm saying.
But that's what
I understand where you're coming from.
That's where some of that homophobia comes from, because this is a newer person. They'll go after that.
Now these new gays, baby,
they
they
go after
gay.
those.
They gay as hell. They gay. They wearing heels. They wearing everything. They don't care how they go out. Now we weren't doing that. It was no.
Acrylic nails look better than
They
mine.
got nails and eyelashes and makeup. They got it all. So at this point, we still have to accept people and love them for who they are. And love them where they are. Because at this point, how can you tell me that we all in the same race, we all trying to do the same thing, but you want to...
And who are you to judge?
To judge us and separate us. And even in our black community, we are trying to separate each other from each other. You know what I'm saying? That because I'm gay, I can't be around this certain group of people. They want to fight us or whatever. But I'm here to tell you, I'm gonna blow your ass off. You stepped to me the wrong way. I'm just here. I'm that gay. I'm just telling you. That's not gay.
Okay, what's the next topic?
That's not gay. I'm gonna fuck you off.
What is the next
Just
topic?
try it if you want
I'm
to.
gonna have to take a sip on that.
Oh, that's me.
Next
So we're gonna
topic.
move on. We're gonna move on because that's touching, because a lot of people, are homophobic and they stereotype everybody as being the same. And
And people don't have a
they
hell
need
of
to be
heaven to
educated.
put nobody
Right.
in.
They need to be educated.
So we
on
all
that.
gonna have to line up on that day.
That's
We
right.
all gonna have to face the one on your own.
On your
On
own.
that
You
day.
gotta
A
You
mama
wanna
can't
be-
go for you.
You're gonna be the person
Daddy
that's gonna
can't
be,
go for you.
They can't do it.
And your dad,
You
your
gotta answer for
pastor
your own.
Sure can't go
So
for
who
you.
are you to judge anybody else? So I can't worry about what nobody else is doing because I
Right.
got my own
That's
to
right.
worry about.
That's
Uh,
right.
My
I'm just
grandmama used to say, you got to give an account of your own
your
sins
own.
and
What you
transgressions.
said, baby. What all you got to stand in line. We all got to be in that line.
You got
and line
to-
up together.
And if
So-
if you feel like it's gonna take you a minute, you might want to start confessing now and
Baby,
asking for forgiveness.
You do what's best for you. Do what's best for you. That's all I'm gonna say. Do what's best for you.
That's
and
right.
you got to learn to forgive people.
You don't have to. You got to.
Forgive and keep on moving
Somebody,
forward.
can we do? I need a class stemming from this show too. Credit literacy and forgiveness. 'Cause
Baby.
I hold people accountable. People say I hold grudges. I don't feel like it's a grudge. I feel like you need to be accountable for what you've done or what you said, and you stand on that. And if you said it then, you meant it then. Don't come in my face smiling.
But you don't have to deal with them after that. So now you know how they
Well-
are. You deal with them with a long handle spoon.
It took
You
me
no
a long
longer have to
time.
deal with that fact. But forgiveness is more so that's for you,
That's
not
for
for them.
you, not for them. That's
Once
right.
you're able to forgive, because see, they holding on to you, baby. They holding on to you. As long as you got that anger, whatever in you, whatever they did,
They got
you
a hold
holding
on
on to
you.
it.
They got a
so
hold
they still
on
got
you.
a hold on. You
mentally,
still thinking
physically,
about
and
they done went on with
emotionally.
their life. They done went on about their being. They no longer think about what they done to you. You still holding on to that. I still feel some type of way when such does something, but baby, once you let it go and free yourself, free your mind, the rest will follow.
I'm gonna
Listen
tell
to
you.
that song.
Let me tell you this. I
Baby.
can care three
I
flying
don't.
fucks, honey, about
Yeah.
what somebody think.
But I had to
If
learn
I
to get to that
free,
way. 'Cause
once
used to
I
harbor
free
on to it,
myself,
too.
I don't know if I ever have because
have,
I mean,
I definitely had.
you know what? It's a
I
lie.
have.
Yes, I have. But
Like,
it
you
was
see me looking.
But the way my mama raised me was to forgive, and I find myself being that way now. Somebody can do something to me, and I can forgive you, and I still have something to say to you. But I don't have to deal with you on a level to where I got to feel like is it okay with such person? I'm not on that level anymore. I'm forgiving that part.
I forgive
I'm
it.
able to move past that part. But see, the old me wasn't like that. See, because I felt like that person had to come and give me my apologies, and I ain't got an apology yet to this day.
I don't
but I'm
want
all right
an
with it.
apology. I just my problem is you said all that stuff yesterday or last week or yesteryear, and now you standing in my face want a hug. Hey, I don't want to hug you. I don't want to talk to you. I want to act like you don't exist. Why are we here?
You still can act like that. Just on a
You
whole
can-
other different
just-
level.
It's a whole nother different level.
Let me tell you
I
something.
can see you and I see you in the same
You
place.
can-
let me
You can
let me say
forgive
this. Let me
the
get you.
person,
Let
but
me
you-
free you from
Yeah,
this.
but you don't forget the action and
I'm-
how it
I'ma
made
free
You
you
ain't
from
got to
this.
hug that person.
I'ma free you
see
from
them and
this.
it's all right.
You stop them at this point.
Yeah.
At this point, you stop them. First of all, stop giving life to something
dead
that you
situation.
put to death.
Mm-hmm.
When it's dead, leave it
Let it be.
dead. That's just like throwing trash away. Don't
You
ever
gotta
go
try to
back
make-
and
you
get
make
it. Don't ever go back and get it.
You just said something right
My
there.
whole thing is, I have learned
Flavor of me.
when you're done, let it go. You know what I'm saying? I have learned that you have to accept things for what they are. And once you can move from it, you're freeing yourself from it.
And forgiving is not kissing their ass.
No, that's not.
You forgive. That don't mean that you got to be still dealing with them.
It's
Okay.
it's some
I
things
forgive
that
you,
have
but they ain't gonna make you. Can't nobody make you come and get.
it's
no
some
hug.
things that people have said about me,
It's okay.
and I know it, and I can care two flying fucks.
And you care
Let me
with
tell you
signs
something.
and
And guess what? I know it, and I still deal with them because guess what? I know you for who you are and how you feel about me. So now it puts you in a different place. So I can still deal with you, but I know how to deal with you.
Yes.
Because now I done put up not a God. I done put up this reflection to show me that, bitch, I'm watching you. And I see you for who you really are.
Yes.
So now
And
it
people
makes
will
me
show you who they are.
it makes me keep my flashlight on you. So bitch, I know before you even try to cut me, I'm watching you. So I ain't
Baby,
gonna turn
you
my
try
back. I
to
never
cut me
turn my
and I
back on
already
you.
stuck you.
That's right. I never turn my back on you because I
I'ma see
always
you at
have to
my
watch you.
peripheral.
Yes, I'm gonna always
Although
keep
I'm
watching.
looking forward, although I'm looking straight, I still can see you in my peripheral.
That's right.
So therefore, I see everything that you're doing that you
Uh-huh.
don't think I see, and I hear things and I know things that you just said and even done to me.
And that's the
And
part
What you
where-
eat don't make me shit. It don't revolve.
That's right. And also, you determines who comes in your circle,
space.
in your space. You determines that. If you don't determine who come in your space, that's when you giving light to the situation. You're allowing them to step in front of you.
Right.
Somebody said something.
What they say?
They said find love on a new dating site.
Find
love on a new dating site.
It probably is. Look like it.
Okay, well, we're not doing that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't trust them on the data cycle. I ain't gonna be able to
Please
do that.
don't. They killing folk on there.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
And then I seen that this guy he went to school. I know we're off the subject. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay. Oh, we got 2 minutes.
Okay.
We didn't even get to the rest of it. We got to move on. Where we going, Joe?
What tarnishes marriages?
What tarnishes marriages, y'all?
We're going to table it the next week.
Yeah, we'll just come
that
back to
one.
it. Also, next week we're going to do a vision board, and we're going to hold each other accountable for our vision board. So if
Okay.
you call in or you want to be here, just let me know.
I'm gonna be sick.
So you're going to be sick.
Yeah,
next
because
week?
I don't want to be held accountable for the things I'm looking forward to doing. I just want to get done what I can get done.
No, we're gonna
But what
hold
about
each
a
other
vision
accountable.
journal instead of just the vision? We start off with the board and then we do the vision journal.
That's fine. We could do that.
Like,
Everybody's
can I
gonna
share
come
this?
back. Yeah,
I just
go
want to
ahead.
share. I came up on this great idea for me.
Mm-hmm.
There's a book that's called The Burn.
Okay.
The Burn book, you get this book and you write down everything that happened to you from your childhood on up to your adulthood. When you get through writing all the things, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to write down all the honest things, your truth during that time. And this experience has been something wonderful for me. After you do all of that, you burn that book because you no more. It's like that curse you was asking about, breaking that generational curse. That could be something good for the generation curse.
For the burn book.
So next week for New Year's, so we're gonna come back on Monday for New Year's, and we're gonna start our vision board. We're gonna work on stuff for our vision board. Also, we're gonna tap into the burn book. We're gonna try to also get people to so we can change some of these things that we have going on, and also we'll talk about financial. We're gonna talk about something about different finances, how we can work on you to help you during the 23 year. We're gonna 23 going into the 23 year. We should be able to be financially stable or getting there.
Right.
So that way, for as your finances, you'll be able to work on your finances or whatever you need to do. We'll talk about that and to help everybody to understand how to get in control of your finances and not let your finances control you. Because you're supposed to pay yourself, pay your bills, and make sure that you're saving for financial wealth. Okay, so we'll talk about that next week. And
Pay
we'll go
yourself,
on.
pay your bills and your financial. Okay.
You got to pay yourself because self got to make you make it for the rest
My
of the
check ain't gonna go that far. I just
Yes, it
wanna put
will.
out there.
It don't take much to save. Because if you save $2 a week, add $2. I'm gonna talk about that next week.
Okay.
You add $2 every week. $2. You add it up. $2, $4 the following week, all the way up. You'll have $7,000 at the end of the year.
Okay.
So we'll work on that. Me and Tony done it. We done it last year, and you save money.
Okay.
We'll be able
Well,
to
help me,
put $2.
please.
You put that $2. So I'm telling you, it don't take a lot.
Yes.
It just take a lot, and then
You
at
just
the
gotta
end
be
of the year,
consistent.
you just got to be consistent. Long as you know, if you pay that money like it's a bill, you'll have money at the end of the year, and you put it somewhere where you won't touch it. And also, you can even put it into a RA, so it'll grow for you for that year, and then you'll be able to take it back out. So you'll be able to take it back out.
Yeah.
So it's ways to get money, to make your money make money for you. So we'll talk about all of that on next week. I enjoyed you guys on tonight.
I appreciate
Please
you
don't
having me.
forget to call in on next week. The number is 901-646-1112. And we thank you. We want you to like, subscribe, share. Please tell a friend to tell a friend about us because we got all of the tea. And it is hot. It's sizzling hot. Okay. Thank you and bye for now.
Nene and Robert, my condolences to y'all. Please, please, please hurry up and come back.
And praying for you all. Most